Hey, how are you? My name is Diamond Stylz. I go live usually Friday, but I'm going live today because it's cold and I done finished everything I needed to do. So, yay. Mm. What is this? Something new. Mm. Hey, Carly. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Ariana. I have so many takes on so many things. I've been gone and traveling and doing stuff. Hey, CL, and so now I can come and it's cold as hell in Houston, unusually cold. Hey, Amara, unusually cold, and yeah, my hands are fucking freezing. I can't even show y'all my good little tan, honey. I'm tan for being in the DR, honey. Happy New Year, everyone. How did y'all celebrate it? Ugh. How did y'all bring in the holidays? How did y'all celebrate it? I went to the store, my little corner store, and they closed. I'm like, what's going on? Is the economy, is we about to go through a Great Depression? All my classic little stores is closing. My my gym closed, like permanently closed. The gym by my house, it's a 24-hour fitness. I got a membership with them, and the one by my house is closed down. I'm like, oh, what is going on? The conveniences of my life are drifting away. How dare you? Um, let me see. I am staying warm. I grew up in Indiana and Boston. So I am not a stranger to cold, honey. I know I've been living in the South for almost 17 years now, but oh no, not just 17. I first came to the South in 2000, but I went back home for a little bit and then yeah, in the South, particularly permanently, 2005. Yeah. Now Houston, I've been here almost 17 years. Hey Ty, celebrating with friends at home. That is a good New Year's. That's good. I stayed my ass at home and took clients and cleaned my apartment. Come on, New Year's tricking and New Year's cleaning. I know that's right. I used to make some when I was an escort. I don't know if you're escort. Clients could be anything, but if you're an escort, I used to make so much money during the holiday season as an escort. That used to be one of my big times. Thanksgiving and Christmas, because usually married niggas they is tired of their family. They tired of their family in that era of time, and they stressed out for trying to make magic happen. And they need a little tender loving tranny care. And will come see you and spend their money it is a part of their self-care. So I used to make tons of money during the holiday season. Come on, Vegas. I'll be in Vegas in 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks? I'll be in Vegas on the 20th or the 21st, somewhere around there, for a week for Creating Change, the Creating Change conference. So I'm excited about that. Um, yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and natural disasters. Clients come out the woodwork. I know that's right. It definitely was a good time for me. Holidays, and surprisingly, like family-based holidays, and surprisingly like Valentine's Day, because single niggas be lonely and all they homeboys is out with their girlfriends. So they like, yo, let me come see my girl. My favorite girl, honey. I brought the New Year's in on a beach in Punta Cana. All the hotels on the beach let out fireworks, so they was like all around us on the shores in the sand. So it was quite beautiful. I loved it. And it's 12 o'clock at night, so it was at nighttime. So all of the lights were just lovely, and then it's super, super clear. It was so dope. I loved it. I loved it. It was so fun. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Shonette. We're gonna get started in about 4 minutes. What else has been going on? Um, did anybody have some mishaps dealing with their family? Anybody have some gags, or was everybody on their best behaviors at y'all family events for the holidays? I also did a lot of usually if I go on like a trip, I usually do some kind of excursion, like do some kind of excursion. I'm still not invited to any family stuff, so no, unfortunately. Oh, that sucks. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be thinking of family as just blood relatives. You should be creating your own chosen family. So that is also your family, and they are important. And so if your blood family don't want to invite you, then your real family, which is the family that you create, will invite you. So don't be pigeonholed in the thought process of that family being family. They're not the only ones that is your family. So if that family actually, when you get to acting like that, for me, you're not my family no more. That's my own personal thing. If you get to being weird and acting stupid and not including me, that means you're not my family no more. You're not my support system. You're not in my community. You a stranger. So fuck you. So you're not my family no more at all. I don't care. I don't care about blood. Family is people who love you and care for you, who are in your community, who are a part of your close, not just in your community. Tons of people in my community that I don't consider family, but who are in your close support system that you can call when you need. They can call you when they need. That is your family. Don't feel like you gotta it gotta be blood relatives. They can be. So reframing that, did you spend time with did you have any family mishaps, any fun, not mishaps is always mishaps ain't always negative. Sometimes even with the family that you love, it can be some weird shit, but not like bad, family ending bad. It can be, just like, oh girl. I gagged myself and everyone not going to the club on New Year's. I went to church. All right, come on, church. I ain't been to new church on New Year's since um shit, since I was 8. I know that's right. which I haven't been to church in forever. I know, get your life. Mm, 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 mm. They're too far. Gotcha. Let me think. Let me think. What else did I do that was interesting? Oh yeah, so I usually go on like different excursions and stuff. And so I got to do zip lining for the first time. That was dope. I got to ride on the beach on a horse, which was a dream goal of mine. Because in my 40s, my theme is to create dreams, things that I fantasize about myself doing and create them. And it cost me $60 to get on somebody's horse on the beach. It was good. I had a great time. Um, we did. Oh, and I was able to see some monkeys. I went to this place called Monkey Land, and they were like 2 pound little monkeys, and it's like 50 of them running around. Maybe not 50, maybe like 20, 25, 30, something. I can't remember, but it was a bunch of them, and they're just running around, and it's just so cute. I loved them. It was a good experience. So I had never experienced that before, and it was dope. I had did ATV riding, so we did that again. That was fun, and then we did the horse stuff and zip lining. So it was quite an active little vacation, but it was fun. I had a good time with my friends. Mm, 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 mm. All righty. So I have a list of topics that I want to discuss. So while we are here, and y'all tell me what y'all want to discuss first. So I have BeyonceBowl. um I have, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it Jaia Cruz, who has been charged with murder. I have a topic about tuck jokes, like your tuck jokes. And then I have a topic about this bare ass little girl, like her ass was bared out. The other day, I want to talk about that, and then make some points around the Cali forest fire. I'm going to talk about all of these, but I'm going to let y'all decide what we talk about first. What do y'all want to talk about first? um, so yes, what y'all want to talk about first? BeyonceBowl, Jaia Cruz, tuck jokes, bare ass little girls, and fire in Cali, and then we'll open it to all. Mm, 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 mm. First come, first serve. What y'all feel like talking about? Beyonce. All right. Jaya. Okay, we seeing Beyonce. All righty, cool. We'll do Beyonce and Jaya. How do you anybody know how to pronounce her name? Is it because if it was a G, I would say Gaia. So is it Jaya? Like I don't know. Jaya? Gia. Gia. So like Jaya. Gia. Jai. Jaya. Gotcha. That's an interesting way of spelling it. Like Gaia, Jaya. Yeah, like Gaia, Jaya. Okay. Jaya. All right. So let's go. Thumbs up. Not thumbs up. You thumbs up, not thumbs down. So make sure if you're listening, make sure you thumbs up. All right. So let's talk about Beyonce. So how many of y'all did y'all watch Beyonce's performance? Did y'all watch it? Did y'all like it? What did y'all feel about it? Um, it's about to be inmate 088234. We're not gonna give the inmates the numbers. Give people's numbers. Um, for sure though. They ain't gonna let her slide. Hopefully, she got a good lawyer. There's a spin that I want to talk about too. Um, yeah, so I loved Beyonce's performance. This is an album that has really um because this is so out the box for her. I think that this is an album that kind of, people are like, "Ooh, I hate it," or "I love it," or "I don't understand it. Why she out of her lane?" and da 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 da. So I wanted to ask y'all: do y'all think that people, in regards to the Cowboy Carter album, are y'all the type of people who likes artists to do what they're known for or try different shit? Like, because in some of the complaints, I see people talking about, oh, she needs to stay in her lane. And I'm not just talking about some racist um, country fans who are just, it really ain't got nothing to do with country because they're just racist. I'm talking about legitimate people who are like, I miss the old school Beyonce and da 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 da. It's not that they're hating her because they hate black people, but are y'all one of them people who feel like your favorite artist? So think, even if Beyonce is not your favorite artist, um, do you think artists have enough room to go and do something new? What are your thoughts about that? It was very Michael Jackson coded. Interesting. I think when people say Michael Jackson coded, I don't think that it is given. I think because Michael is a standard in greatness when it comes to entertainment and performances that Beyonce is meeting. I think that what's coded is you are seeing that level of greatness in Beyonce as Michael, because I don't see any imagery that reminds me of Michael, but the greatness and detail of the performance, like Michael did, you see in Beyonce, because to me, Beyonce is the Michael Jackson of our time. So you're seeing a remnants of what we used to get with Michael in a new person. And it's not necessarily the imagery that is given Michael, but the greatness of it. The greatness of it, for sure. Um, Beyonce is every genre. I like variety. I don't want the same album over and over and over. I was listening to her music today, and it was really grown up with her, and it has really grown up with her as she's grew up. R&B is struggling, so these artists need to commit to that lane. R&B is struggling, so these artists need to commit to that lane. So you think because R&B is struggling, they need to commit to R&B? Is that what you mean, Shonette? Like my favorite to take risk and explore, and B is one of my faves. She is, yes, especially when they have been in the game as long as she has. All right, so I am somebody who I think this is something that I am somebody. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and for me, artists who were like pop icons to me growing up were Michael, Madonna, Janet, um, who else? I mean, who was bigger than them? Michael, Madonna, Janet, um, I want to say like a Mary J. Blige, but more in black. Um, um, who else? Who else was like the people coming up in the 80s and the 90s? Oh, of course, Whitney Houston. So the thing about the the people coming up when I was coming up, they did different sounds. They did different stuff. They did um their imagery was different on each album, especially like people like Madonna. Madonna looks so totally different in each era of her career. When we think of Ray of Light, when we think of Human Nature, when we think of um Holiday. The imagery across these different times of Madonna. 80s Madonna looked very different than 90s Madonna. Like early or even early 2000s Madonna when she was you know, kind of falling off. I think I'm used to artists doing different stuff when it comes to their imagery and when it comes to their sound of music. I am so used to artists trying things. Does it work all the time? No. But does it work? Yes. It doesn't work all the time, but switching it up is so normal to me. Now, it may be now I can't say that I remember an artist from back in that era that totally did a new, like, they might have played with different things, but it still was kind of commercial and pop, da 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 da, and imagery. But to do a whole other genre and play in a whole other genre, I can't say I could recall other than, and this is not my era, but a person that did it that really sticks in my mind and is like Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson kind of did like a Willie Nelson is known to be a country artist, but he did an album full of standards, like jazz standards, like folk standards, shit like that. I think it's called Wonderlush, and it was totally different than the country music that people known him for, that was in of his era. So he comes out with this album full of nothing but these kind of standards, Willie Nelson, and everybody was like, what the fuck? But it was so good they fucking loved it and went along with it. And because he's a white man, so it was like, oh, this is what you're doing. Were there people complaining? Sure, but it was just him. It was like, oh, let's just do what we're doing. um it it's something that I have seen people do. And then, but when people, they're also like Linda Rinstead. Linda Rinstead did this album with her family. Linda Rinstead looked white, but she actually is Mexican, and she did this album because her family is a musical family, and she did this album that was um like Mexican. And that was, so people were trying to talk her out of it because they was like, yo, this is not your fan base. Your fan base has been this pop folk kind of way. But she was like, I can sing whatever the fuck I want to sing. I can sing. So I can sing this kind of music. I can sing this kind of music. But this is the music that I grew up on, and I want to bring my family in on this. And so she did a whole album doing like this kind of Mexican vibe, like this kind of Mexican folk vibe, and it was successful. Was it as successful as her other stuff? No, but it was successful. It was something she wanted to do as an artist, to really put her stamp on music that she loves. And I think as an artist, that is a part of artistry where, yo, even if this is, especially when you get to a certain level of your success. Now, when you young, you grinding and trying to not be broke. But once you get to the point where I can stop music now and I won't be broke for the rest of my life. Once you get to a certain level, I can do what I want to do. It ain't about it's not about I want my fans to love it, but I want to do something that teaches. I want to do something that feels good to me, that stretches my artistry, that stretches it's just and also to me there's a level of, oh, you want to play games, let me show you how I can come in and shake it up even if you don't even want me in it. Because I think that this album also is a response to how they were treating her at the CMAs when she performed with the Dixie Chicks. So she's like, oh, y'all want to be late, I can come in and actually shake it up, because boom, I am I'm from Houston, and I'm a Southern girl who grew up in Southern, in Southern culture, and so country is a part of that. And I think, and I'm gonna play a video to kind of take my point to another level. But what I said about the performance of Beyonce at this, not Super Bowl, but the Beyonce Bowl, at that performance, for me, it was Black Southern woman coded, because it had all these elements that if you are a Black Southern woman, growing up in Southern culture, this is a part of your life. Like, this is a part of um um all these elements. And I want to play. So I want to read my comment. If you go to the performance, I'm gonna put it in the chat. My comment is in the performance, and this is what I said. I said, this is so Southern Black woman coded. We love gospel, we love soul, we love hip hop, we love country, we love swag bands, we love slabs, we love horses, the femme Western wear, groups of women, big hair, tall, dark, handsome men, and our babies, because she had Blue performing with her. I was like, Beyonce just gets us. And that's how I felt about the performance. Like, if you are a Southern woman, there's a relatability to what she showcases in regards to Southern people's culture on this performance, on this album. Now, of course, there is tons of historical nuggets. There's this dude that I follow on TikTok that really goes through the album of Cowboy Carter and breaks down all the songs and what elements she has put in it to showcase how Black people have impacted country music. And so for somebody to say that she's not country, or Black people can't do country, or blah blah blah, just based on what she has presented on this album, it would be ridiculous for you to say. Now, what I do love about her is she's saying this is not a country album, this is a Beyonce album. And meaning that this is me exploring this genre and using Beyonce as an artist. This is a Beyonce album, but I'm exploring this genre. It has a theme, and I'm sharing with you what what I want to present to you with this particular country theme. And I thought, for me, as a musician who loves so many types of genres of music, and especially vocal music, country, gospel, R&B, and hip hop are my favorite genres. Classical and jazz, I love, particularly vocal, not instrumental, even though some of that I fuck with too, but particularly vocalists who are amazing in those genres. R&B, gospel, country. I love, some of my top artists are country artists, especially women. Dolly Parton, Shania Twain, Martina McBride, Reba McEntire. I love Faith Hill. I love, 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 Loretta Lynn, Tanya Tucker. These people are some of my favorite vocalists and some of my favorite songwriters. Dolly songwriting, um, Loretta Lynn songwriting. She got this song called "The Pill" that is so appropriate for now when we talk about birth control and a woman's right to choose and all that kind of stuff, and contraception. She even Dolly has a song that she wrote in early part of her career called "The Bridge," where she was pregnant and the dude was being shady to her, and she ended up jumping off a bridge, killing herself. And the ending of the song was her jumping off the fucking bridge. It was crazy. It was just so beautifully written and amazing. And of course, we see our bigger hits like Jolene and Code of Many Colors and I Will Always Love You, that multiple people have covered. And so for me, in my life, there's tons of country artists that I'm like, yo, these bitches are singing. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between, I think me and my aunt got in an argument. Not an argument, but my aunt came on my post recently on a post about Beyonce, and she was saying, she's like, I don't think Beyonce can really sing. And so to me, when somebody I think there's a very distinct difference between between somebody who can't sing and somebody who you just don't like their voice. So let me give you a perfect example. I don't like Barbra Streisand. I don't like Barbra Streisand. But I would be batshit crazy because I don't like her voice to say that Barbra Streisand cannot sing. I'm not a Barbra Streisand fan. Do I like certain songs like Gotta Move, Gotta Get Out, Gotta Find Some Place? Yes. I like Prisoner? I like yeah, those are my two songs. Prisoner and Gotta Move are my two favorite Barbra Streisand songs. I love the songs, but I don't really like her voice. I don't really like Memories and stuff that people really love. I don't really like it. So my favorite Caucasian woman singer, one of my favorites is Celine Dion. I love a Celine Dion, but Barbara is just not one of my favorite voices. But it would be ridiculous for me to say that Barbara can't sing. It would be ridiculous for me to say that she can't sing just because I don't like her voice is silly. And then another thing, my aunt says, she was like, we grew up on people singing like Patti LaBelle and such Stephanie Mills and da 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 da. And I'm like, you, in the same way that I know that Barbra Streisand can sing, but she can't sing like Patti LaBelle. She can't sing like Gladys Knight. There's ways that I can appreciate somebody's voice and be great and think that they are great without them having to sing like some church lady from the 50s and 60s. You don't need to sing like Patti LaBelle for me to like you. You don't need to sing like Aretha Franklin. You don't need to sing like these classic soul singers for me to think you know how to sing. I think Martina McBride knows, a country girl, knows how to fucking sing, and she's a great vocalist. I think Alison Krauss is a great vocalist, has an amazing, distinct voice. I think Erykah Badu has an amazing, distinct voice. Does Erykah Badu sing like Patti LaBelle? No, she does not. But she sings like Erykah, and I like Erykah. Sade, can't no motherfucking body do what Sade do. There's no other Sade in the industry. Sade is a unique voice, and I love what Sade do. But does Sade sing like Karen Clark-Sheard or Kim Burrell or Aretha Franklin or Patti LaBelle or Gladys Knight? No. But we still fuck with, she's still one of the greats. We still fuck with her voice. She still has a great voice. She has a voice that I like. She has a voice that I love, that because it's distinct and unique. It does not, I don't need you to know, I don't need you to sing like that. And actually singing like that pigeonholes you, because if you think about it, the people that you're talking about, because she was like, there's albums that's no skips, and Billie Holiday couldn't sing like Aretha and Patti, but she sang herself. Exactly. You can't tell me Billie Holiday doesn't have a voice just because she doesn't sing like Ella Fitzgerald. You don't, just because Ella Fitzgerald can't sing like Patti LaBelle, but Ella Fitzgerald can do what Ella Fitzgerald does amazing and love it. Incomparable. I can't stand Anthony Hamilton. And I literally said that in the comments, Ray K. Ray K. I do not like Anthony Hamilton's voice, but he can sing. Like, I know he can sing. And so that's what I feel. Just because you don't like Beyonce's voice doesn't mean Beyonce can't sing. And it's ridiculous for you to say it. Life Jennings, fact, same. It is ridiculous for you to say that she can't sing. You are just being a hater. You can not like her voice. You're not being a hater for not liking her voice. It cannot be your taste. It cannot be you don't like her voice over somebody else's. Absolutely. But saying Beyonce can't sing is ridiculous. And the people and what makes it even more ridiculous is the people that you think are great singers are fan of Beyonce's. People that you think are great singers are fans of Beyonce and like her voice and like her singing voice. Just because you don't mean that she's not a great singer. It's similar to, I think that this is an effect of similar to Brandy. People hate when people call Brandy the vocal Bible. Brandy is a singer, baby. You and a lot of times there is a technicality to I've talked about this before. There's a technicality to music that if you do, I'm not saying that can't nobody have an opinion on what they hear. Anybody can hear a voice and say, "Ooh, I don't like that voice." Anybody can hear a voice and say, anybody can judge a voice by if I like it or not. Anybody can do that. But there is a technical criteria of good singers. And we talked about this on a live a couple of weeks ago. If you have range, if you have pitch, if you can stay on key, if you have a tone, if you have power, and if you have agility. Beyonce has all of these. It may not be one that you like. Her voice may not be one that you like, but she knows how to sing on key. She knows how to make a song her own. She knows how to be powerful. She knows how to be versatile. She has the agility. She has proven all of that. We've listened to her since she was since the 90s, since she was a kid. We know what she can do. Now, do I love Beyonce like I love Beyonce's voice like I love a Whitney Houston? Not really. But I like Beyonce's voice. I know the difference between her and Whitney. I know the difference between her and like a Kim Burrell. I know but that difference doesn't diminish Beyonce. It's just different. Beyonce has created her own voice. There are so many young girls coming up singing that are sounding like her because they were raised up on her. So there are so many Beyonce surprised us with her opera skills. Who else did that? Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin sung a Pavarotti song with no rehearsal and killed it. But that's an example. They are great singers. They are great. They're just great. This is just what it is. She's one of the greats. And also comparing her stardom, like and thinking that her stardom is just based on her voice because she doesn't sing like the greats. Beyonce is a star for many reasons, but one of the main reasons, because her privileges of being a light-skinned woman, her privileges of I think my aunt brought up her marrying Jay-Z as if it was like, oh, Her marrying Jay-Z was a strategic move that got her more famous. Sweetheart, Beyonce was Beyonce before she married Jay-Z. Beyonce was on the road, was already a successful solo artist before she married Jay-Z. Beyonce, based on her work ethic, that everybody around her who has been connected with her says, regardless of what has happened. I remember on Breakfast Club, LaToya Luckett was there, and she was like, regardless of what has happened, we knew Beyonce was going to be a star, regardless of what people making it seem like her father put her in the position and da 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 da. Everybody says Beyonce's work ethic is insane, similar to what they said about Michael Jackson. The work ethic is insane. Work ethic is insane. So her dedication to excellence, her dedication to going to the next level, her dedication to giving her fans an experience and a show. That is why Beyonce is a star. She has all the elements. She looks good. She sings well. Her dedication to excellence. She has a look. She has a vibe. She is. Now, this might be controversial. She has surpassed Michael Jackson to me. Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. They're just. I'm saying this. I'll explain it later. But we know Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. But why she has surpassed Michael Jackson to me is because to me she has combined what I love about Diana Ross and what I love about Michael Jackson. She is a Black woman with a look, with a sickening look that is uniquely hers, and she has the work ethic and the talent of a Michael. And put them together, we haven't seen that before. To me, before Beyonce, we haven't seen that before. I feel like, I just feel like you take the magic of Diana Ross and put it with the magic of Michael Jackson and put it together, you got Beyonce. Sorry. That's to me, and she has a better voice than both of them. I agree. That's to me. And it's not you Michael Jackson has set a standard that she has no choice but to surpass. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Michael is Michael. The era of Michael Jackson can never be duplicated. You can't do it. You ain't never gonna have a Michael. You ain't never gonna have what the magic of him and Quincy Jones together. You just ain't gonna never have that moment of what was the 80s. Madonna, similar to Madonna, and the performance of Tina Turner. Yes, it's the amalgamation of all who she was raised on, who Beyonce has as idols, who we grew up. Me and Beyonce born the same year. I was born in February. She was born in September. The people who we came up seeing as icons, Beyonce is the amalgamation of all of them. Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, Diana Ross. This is the standard. So it's for her to come and do what she is. It doesn't shit on Michael Jackson. It's not, and Janet. Facts, exactly. It doesn't shit on Michael. It doesn't shit on all of those people, or says that she's it doesn't diminish them at all. What it is they set a standard that I need to surpass. If you tell me if your time of greatness it's kind of like Dominique Dawes and Simone Biles. There was in 92, Dominique Dawes was slaying. Do you see what I'm saying? As a Black gymnast. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it doesn't she was great in the 92 Olympics. She was peak, And Simone Biles done came and surpassed all these hoes. It don't make Dominique's dolls less great. Or a beast in her time. It just makes, it's like you set a standard. So I know now I have to train my body to do better than you did in 92. I have to train my body to be better. You set a standard. I have no choice. In order to be great in my own right, I have no choice but to do something different and something new and something fresh. And I think that is what Beyonce is doing. And so I also want to talk about this. I think Michael Jackson is in a space of his own. I do believe Beyonce is an icon, though. Yes, and I think Beyonce is in a space of her own. Like, there is a space that Michael is Michael. It's similar to James Brown, similar to Elvis, similar to Tina Turner. Like, they are their own entity that you cannot mimic, but they're like they're like up there. They're the standard of what a pop icon is. They are that. And I think Madonna's in there. And I think that Beyonce is creating her own iconography. There is no, when we talk about, in the same way we talk about Michael Jackson in the 80s and the 90s, you cannot talk about the 2000 and 2010s without talking about, in the same way we talking about Beyonce, in the same way we can't talk about the 60s and the Motown era without talking about Diana Ross, and in the 80s and the 70s and 80s without talking about Diana Ross. You can't do this from beginning. We cannot talk about this early millennia without talking about Beyonce. You just can't. You're not going to be able to do it. She has created her own lane, and she's the greatest entertainer of our time right now. To me, that's my opinion. But I want to play this for y'all because I want to discuss it. This is a guy that I follow on
Rockin' about Giddy.
So I want to play this. Y'all tell me if y'all hear it. His name is Oxcord Whisperer. He is my friend from here in Houston, and this is what I want to play from him.
Beyonce's provocative about Giddy. She gets the people going. However, listening to the rhetoric and the aftermath of this Cowboy Carter performance, it actually made me look at some things of how I experience blackness and just like my blackness being from the South. In 2020, when blackness became like the thing to include, I realized that the imagery used to make me feel inclusive didn't resonate to me as a Southern black man. And when people decided that they wanted to be our allies, the version of blackness that they chose was primarily an East Coast, but sometimes a West Coast version of blackness. And they didn't choose Southern blackness, even though like the South has the highest concentration of black people. And then it made me like, all of this started with this conversation, and then that led me to hip hop. And when hip hop was commercialized and people from the South started to participate in it, folks was like, "Fuck that! No, we don't want the Southerners here. We ain't listening to that shit." Blase, blase. And then Southern hip hop actually being damn near the saviors of hip hop in general, type shit. Then it made me think about if Southern blackness is the purest form of blackness, because everything else is like everything else leads to the South. Like when we talk about an art form like hip hop, even though hip hop was technically made in the East Coast, it was built off of the backs of Southern black art forms like blues, jazz, country, and rock. And then in turn, when we wanted to participate in it, we weren't allowed to participate in it. And then that led me to like the blackness that is in East Coast, West Coast areas. Like those versions of blackness have high proximity to whiteness.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have. There's a conversation here that I'm, you know what I'm saying, I could be landing on. I'm really working this shit out literally in this video as we go. But there's something there, and it's like we aren't really the country cousins you should be ashamed of. It is just that our version of blackness may not be palatable because we aren't that close to white. I don't know. Let's chop it up about this. Like, I'll do videos later on today. We can chop it up in the comments and figure it out. But maybe let me know if I'm on to something.
So I thought that this was a good take, not because it was new. He's just a hood ass nigga, so he probably hasn't read some of the books that I have read. But this is a common. This is a common take. That's another element. This is why I refer to people from California as California Black, because there is a unique blackness in California Black. It's not saying it's a lesser blackness. I'm saying there is a different investment. There is a difference. Because of the proximity of liberal whites, there is a very distinct difference in West Coast Black people. It is a very distinct difference. And also East Coast Black people too, in the sense of how it's just different. It's just that it's a very, very, because of the blend that has happened over time and the lack of segregation, there is a difference. It's particularly around people non-black other cultures that they're kind of mixed with. Not non-black but non-white. There's also something that happens there. This is why Cardi B's and those and people who are Latinx, Black Afro Latinx people, that nuance that some of us in the South, but some of us in the South don't understand how close their communities are intertwined, and how there's them saying nigga, or them saying them being in Black culture, or that osmosis of Black culture not being as separated as it is here. There's a big difference even here in the South. Like even here in Texas, there is a I was sitting at a in a restaurant called Joy's here, and I was by myself, and I was sitting next to 4 Mexican young men. They probably are in their early 20s, or maybe the oldest was in his mid 20s, but somewhere early 20s, and they were talking about working and da-da-da-da, and they just kept saying nigga, nigga, nigga to each other. It was, yeah, nigga, I'm tired of going to work. Like shit, like it was a part of their language. And I have seen that commonly down here in Houston. I have seen that also in New York, where, because like you go to the Bronx, those Latinx dudes, where I'm looking at you, you look like a regular Latinx motherfucker, and you saying nigga, it was strange to me. But culturally, that is a norm for all of them. And so there's a difference. Same thing with West Coast. There is a difference in the segregation. So there's a difference in the Blackness. And so when we talk about, when he starts talking about hip hop and the culture of hip hop, and how it started, and how, when we talk about how it started, the people early, like when we think about like Angie Stone and Sequence and early rappers, there was Sequence was from Virginia. There was a lot of the core hip hop people, like we know it starts in the Bronx and da 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 da. But a lot of these core producers that was creating this, adding to this moment, had Southern connections. Like it's you can't take away from those things. You can't take it out. But also, there's a connection there. There's a connection from um if it's coming up in the 70s, you have people um coming migrating up north one generation or that generation back. Right there, it's right there. So trying to disconnect that is kind of crazy. But there is a what he was saying was like there's a particular type of blackness that people consider to be palatable to accept. It definitely ain't the country. We're seeing some of these moments now when we hear a Glorilla's voice, when we hear it's tons of what. But this was happening when we think about T.I., when we think about all these kind of Southern rappers, when we think about um what's Outcast, when we think about what was going on during the Source Awards and how they was kind of like disrespecting Southern rappers and kind of playing them off because it was an East Coast and West Coast thing, and nobody, you know what I'm saying? It was this moment where the South was kind of coming up, and when it comes to them participating in it, and when it comes to the respect Southern Black people get in hip hop. But I think that that conversation can be transferred in other ways too, because you hear people, particular academic scholars, talking about how, calling Southern people country bumpkins and just invalidating Southern people because of them not being from the North and being more from the South. When we think about Southern fashion, when we think about even like the Zora Neale Hurston, like there were people who were philanthropists who were funding Zora Neale Hurston's work and research in Florida farmers, in Florida lumber, not farmers, Florida lumber culture, in the Caribbean culture in the Caribbean. She was literally getting funded and writing books and cultural like anthropology. But because people were not valuing the work that she was doing, they were it was hard for her to get this kind of funding. It was her friendships that was building, but other white people was getting funding for tons of other stuff, or other Black people who were more up north adjacent. But because she was focused on the South, it was hard for Zora to get the work, to get the funding to do the work that she was doing. And so for me, I think he was onto something. And I think that what we are seeing in this Beyonce situation, we are seeing for the first time this kind of Black Southern woman display of our culture. I don't really, who has, maybe I've forgotten and just don't know, but this kind of high level of showing the amalgamation of what Black Southern woman culture is. I don't know. I haven't seen nobody do that. And I'm not saying that no Black woman has ever done country. That's not what I'm saying. We clearly the album show that, but when we talking about showcasing Black Southern culture, Beyonce has been doing this. When we think about From Soldier, when she was showing the slabs, when she was she has had a lot of visuals that represent Southern culture. When we think about Homecoming on Netflix, when we think about showcasing the bands, she ain't the first person to showcase bands. No, of course not. But in the way that she did, when we think about Formation, when we think about all the imagery that she has created that was Southern specific, Black woman Southern specific. This is the first time that we are seeing this. Because Deja Vu, that album from that first from is that B-Day? That album. Because usually And I'm not saying that there wasn't an element of this in her presentation as an artist. Because I think if I were her, if I was a boy, not if I was her, if I was a boy, was her to me vocally, if I was a boy, was her first album that really sounded like she was going commercial. If I were a boy, very simple melody, not doing, because you remember there was an era of Beyonce that where she was doing a lot of unnecessary running. Um, just really kind of show them what she could vocally do. And I think that there's a process that people just go through as they get older and try to go solo. Let me do all the acrobatics that we are known for, that I can do. And you know, when we think about Dangerously in Love and what vocally what was happening on that song, I think If I Were a Boy to me was her first not commercial success, but it just sounds like she was trying to be more commercial. So I think that there usually Bills, Black as Hell, um, out the video, absolutely. So No Angels, definitely. That was, and that was Houston specific too. Um, I think usually when you are a Black artist that's going pop, you do what Janet Jackson did. You start being more commercial, meaning I have more white girl dancers. Mariah Carey would pack Beyonce up. I don't even know what that means. In what? What does that mean? So, you what Janet Jackson did. What Janet Jackson did was commercially what needed to do commercially what you needed to do in the 80s and 90s. Janet Jackson did the diversity thing. When you look at a Janet Jackson um um video, Janet Jackson was her dance was diverse. When we think about was it London? What was her name? Tina Landon. Um, when we think about visually what Janet Jackson was doing, she was giving you commercial stuff that wasn't really rooted in just being like Black history. She was the Black representation, and that's where it ended to me. Paula Abdul. I'm talking about just like not just her choreographer, but like even like when we think about That's the Way Love Goes, the video was it had the Latina representation, Janet Jackson, this girl, it was a white girl. It was intentionally really, really diverse. To me, it wasn't Black as hell in the way that Beyonce has been able to do really Black girl stuff. Not saying that Janet Janet was the Black representation, so she put diversity around her. She was playing the Michael Jackson card. So yeah, I think that what is happening is Michael even went and adopted white kids. um so I think that we haven't had a artist with this kind of freedom, with this kind of public environment that allowed her to be blackety black. I think her growing her career in this time of of pro-blackness that we've had in this early millennia, particularly in the past 15 years. I think that that environment allowed Beyonce to be pro-black in a way that, and it doesn't mean that she doesn't, that it's not lost on me that she is blonde. You get what I'm saying? It's not lost on me that a part of her aesthetic is this kind of idealized um long hair blonde caricature of herself. But also mixing that's where I'm going to be more commercial, and I'm still giving you these black ass images when it comes to all the visuals that I bring to the table, um projects that I do. I think that it gives us the environment allowed her to be that, and that in a way that black artists of the past, they didn't have the environment to do that in. Right. Facts. So other black artists, they had to be more palatable. I think before her, um, I think they had to be more palatable. Commercial meant to be white. Do you see what I'm saying? You do commercial meant to please the white people. Where I think Beyonce has grown up in a time, has grown her career in a time where being blackity black made it even better. So, to me, I think that it was a beautiful performance. I think that it was one of her greatest. I love the visual image. I love what she did with it. It was dope. I loved it. I love the business savvy of it. Um, just the business savvy of, yo, I've already done the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Um, who is more LGBT affirming than Janet and Beyonce? Um, I mean, you gotta be. I mean, dude, don't you have to be? Like, I wouldn't. I don't want to shit on Madonna, but I feel like if we include Janet, we gotta include Madonna. But if we just talk about black people, I mean, yeah, they are the same. Beyonce sealed it with Renaissance. Yeah, for sure. I feel like Renaissance was for, not I feel, I know. Renaissance was for us. um and I feel like Cowboy Carter was music. I feel like Renaissance was a history lesson, of course, for us, but a black ass history lesson for us in house music and what we bring to the culture as queer community and in music. But I also feel like Cowboy Carter, in a way, is her giving you a history lesson in regards to country. Like, okay, I did this is act one. This is act two. So I've done the history when it comes to the queer folks and giving you this dance album and blah 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 blah. Now, um do I like Cowboy Carter as much as I like Renaissance? No. Renaissance was my shit. But I, because I like vocal music, I do like Cowboy Carter. Um and so I think this was a history lesson. It was a beautiful dedication to to you know our contributions to country music. and Black Southern womanhood when it comes to country, because I don't know a Black Southern woman who don't like country, particularly, if they are, I want to say 35 plus, who don't like some form of, it may not be their favorite genre, but if you're a Southern woman, you can't avoid country music. You just can't. And you can't, if you like music, you can't avoid good voices and good songs. Blues and country, you can't avoid that. Blues was popping when I lived up north. When you go to the little older women's spot in Indianapolis, it was the Elks, the Point at one point. You go to the older people spot, you're gonna hear some blues. Now in the South, you're gonna hear some blues. When I came to the South, all the fucking time. Also, we lived through the country pop era of late 90s or early 2000s. Yes. The Shania Twain, Dixie Chicks, and Faith Hills. Yes, absolutely. And there was a country pop era of the 80s with Dolly Parton. And there was a country pop era of the 80s that we lived through as well with Dolly Parton and movies like Coal Miner's Daughter, that was just a good movie about Loretta Lynn. There's a Kenny Rogers and what's the white man name? Even the Judds, even Trisha Yearwood. There was another country pop country era in the 80s too. So country is just something that we have lived through. And so I just thought I wanted to discuss that nuance in regards to Beyonce's bowl and that stuff. So that's what I wanted to talk about for that. Thumbs up if you like the conversation. All right, so let's talk about Jaia. Beyonce's more LGBT affirming. I don't know how we are measuring more, but I don't really care. I don't care who's more. I like I think that they all are. And I think people like a Janet or a Madonna paved the way for that. They are all gay icons, absolutely. Hey Diamond just came in, did not realize you've been on for an hour already. Yes. Hey Andre. All right, so let's talk about Jaia. Does anybody not know what's going on with Jaia, or can I just skip to the? Well, maybe. So, all right. So apparently, for instance, there isn't an artist Janet Jackson could face in a versus. I actually don't think that that's true. I think Janet Jackson and Madonna would be a good versus. If we just talk about black, because versus is a black thing, but yeah, I feel like Janet Jackson and Madonna could go neck and neck. Now I'm gonna be on Masada. Why I say Masada? I'm gonna be on Janet Jackson's side of the room. But when it comes to the hits, then I like both of their hits, child. I feel like they running neck and neck. Neither one of them. It's not. They gonna give you some dance hits. They all got sickening looks. Both of them got like them kind of vocals that people love to say they can't sing. They got that kind of thing. So I feel like Janet and Madonna would be neck and neck if we could do if it's because I've heard an argument that versus is for black people. But I think yeah. Can you give a recap of the Jaia? I think I know a little bit of what it's really too early to know any details, but from what I have gathered from the articles that I have read, I'm gonna be on both sides. LOL. I got my life in Madonna tour. Yes, Madonna is an icon to me. I live with Madonna. I'm unapologetically a Madonna fan, child. That's my girl. I live for her. Anyway, so Jaia Cruz is a trans woman who was in a bottega, and they got into it with another patron, Ray Hodge. I think his name is Hodge. And they got into it. I'm hearing different accounts. One article said that they got into it about who turn it was in the bodega line. And it escalated to where she stabbed him. Now, from what I'm to understand, one article was saying that some of the witnesses were saying that he had spit on her or threw some water at her. This is in New York. If we say bodega, child, where else is it bodegas at? I'm pretty sure something like it, but usually that's New York. But yeah, it's New York, and the argument led to Jaia stabbing him to death. Jaia is a trans woman. There recently has been video that resurfaced where Jaia was getting attacked and had to stab some other people because she was getting attacked, brutally beaten. And so there are two conversations going on. In some of the article, because he was a U.S. postal worker, people are like, the right-wing people are like, oh my God, this sicko killed a U.S. postal worker, especially when they found out that she was a trans woman. And then other trans people are like, yo, these niggas be out here trying it. And sometimes, honey, sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do because it's going to be either you or them sometimes, child. And unlike cisgender women, and this is not even with cisgender women sometimes, but definitely not with no trans woman. If a nigga is trying us and trying to fight us, ain't nobody going to jump in and help us, because to the people watching, it's two niggas fighting. So why we got to jump in? That's two dudes. That's a man. We have seen it on video. There's tons of video out here of people stopping. And I think anybody should be breaking up a fight if it's happening. But I have seen video of trans women getting hit and beat up, and people will try to stop the fight, not for any reason other than y'all don't need to be fighting. And as soon as somebody says, that's a man, even though you could break up a fight and stop the fight, even if it's two dudes, like let a regular identifying cis dudes. If you can stop them from fighting, why don't you do that? But I have literally seen trans women, somebody stop helping and stop de-escalating because somebody say, oh, that's a man. That's a trans woman. Even when they could de-escalate the situation. So, and it's not saying that the niggas won't beat up a cis woman and people just stand there. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying it's more likely. If a man is beating up a cis woman, you can rest assured at some point somebody will come in and say, yo, this is going too far. Why are you hitting that female? But when it's us, they are not going to do that. I saw a video of two men jumping a trans woman and people were yelling, that's a man, to people trying to stop them. Yes. Multiple, not just one, multiple. And so My thing is, I done been in incidents with niggas, and I done stabbed a few. I done shot one. I done been in situations, and I just lucked up and didn't kill him. That's the only reason why I'm not in prison, because I didn't kill him. But these niggas will try you. These niggas will try you. They will disrespect you. They will spit on you, hit you. They will do whatever it is, because especially nowadays with this environment of toxicity around trans people. I think that we are in a time where people are trying us. And I also think, as anybody who's been on my channel for a long time, y'all know I have very controversial opinions about bullying. There's multiple videos, if you go back in my archive, where I'm saying I want the bully to shoot up the school. I want the bully to kill not the bully, the person who is being bullied, to shoot up the school. I want the person being bullied to unalive the person that's bullying them. Opposed to them killing themselves. Not the bully. I misspoke. Not the bully. Because at a time when I was saying that, there was a lot of young people, young queer people, who were killing themselves. And for me, I'm like, I understand, baby. I know it's hard, da 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 da. But how about you help the school out and the other queer people in the school? If you're gonna kill yourself, I got a video saying this, and I ain't took it down, and I don't regret it. If you gonna kill yourself, you taking a member from our team and taking them on to glory. Why don't you go ahead and take him on out? Because when they bully you, they gonna bully somebody else. Now, I know this is a bad take. I know that this is a take that's like, ooh, ouchie, and ooh, this is spicy. But this is truly how I feel, and I don't think it's gonna change in my lifetime. I feel like before you take yourself out, take them out. Help the world. I much rather, me and TS Madison hosted during 2020, we hosted the Winter Gala, and we were doing a skit that we had planned, where we were pulling out our guns, and we said, yo, we want to hear more stories, instead of the stories about trans women getting beat and beat up and jumped and murdered. We want to hear more stories about us doing the do. In an ideal world, I don't want nobody going out. But if I hear about some folks going out, I'd much rather her be up top in a veil. Is it sad? Maybe. Is that a spicy take? Maybe. It may be. But I feel like if we had more of us out here when they out, yes, we gonna go to prison. Yes, there might be some consequences, just like with niggas. Like if we was doing the insurrection, we wouldn't have been going to court, seeing our day in court, and da da da. They would have killed us if it was black folks that was doing the insurrection. So I know that there's going to be different consequences for us when we do what we do. It's going to be different consequences. But I much rather them know not to play with us, because I much rather the theme be, yeah, but them motherfuckers is crazy and they will kill you. I much rather it be that. If I'm to be honest, I much rather it be that. Because I don't want it to be us just getting killed. I don't want it to be that. I much rather us be Jaia Cruz than Malaysia Booker. Is that it? Am I wrong for that? Do y'all think I'm wrong for that? I much rather be burying the nigga and my girl going to prison, as opposed to burying my girl and him going to prison. Take them out. Take them out. Because that's one less trans person that they gonna bully. Take them out. I feel like this about old racists. Take them out. I feel like this about transphobes. I feel like this about misogynists and rapists. Like people out here sex trafficking. Take them out. Like if you, I'm a the I was happy when the Centoya Brown took her abuser out. I didn't want her to be in jail, and when she got out, I was happy that she was out in jail. When she got pardoned, I was happy. Take them out. When they out here harming, gorilla pimping, when they out here raping, take them out. Kill them. Slay them. Because what do we know? We know they go out here and harm again. Well, that doesn't give people change. And your bullies in high school, they grow up and da 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 da. All right, maybe they change, but when I look at the niggas who bully me in high school, they still trifling niggas to this day. Maybe a couple of them changed. Maybe a couple of them. Maybe. I feel like the way anyone that causes harm to people, especially unprovoked. Yeah. And this lady just got attacked months before by getting attacked by two dudes on video who she had to stab. Months before. Yo, I'm not about to let you make it. When people was giving, you don't feel bad that he died, I was like, no. I'm giving my care and concern to Jaia. She is gonna need it more. Period. And and the thing about it is why are you trying to force me to care about a transphobic motherfucker? And I'm trans. Why are you trying to get me to see their humanity when it's my community that motherfuckers is not seeing their humanity? People are saying she has a history of violence. Yes, she got jumped by two dudes and she had to stab them some months before. I have a history of violence. There's a charge on my books. There's a story that I told talk about Eric Nalechi, in memory of Eric Nalechi. There's a literal story that I talk about that I'm the one who got a criminal charge behind being violent to him. I'm the one, not him. Now he dead now, but I'm the one who got charged. I'm the one who got charged. Now, it's not on my record because we have something here in Houston. It's called a fur adjudication. If it's your first and only charge and you do what you need to do, pay your fines, be on probation and not get in trouble, they throw it away. But you only get that one time. So if my get out of jail free card done been spent over a nigga who was violent to me. Now if I go to jail for a nigga, I'm gonna have to do my time because I already done spent my deferred adjudication situation because of this clown. Yeah, a history of violence don't mean that it wasn't justified violence. And if you somebody who think, not you, Shonette, but if you somebody who think that no violence is justified, then you don't live the life that I live or in the world that I know. I'm Nat Turner, Denmark VC, Gabriel Proctor. I think some violence is necessary. No, I didn't get charged with his death. I got charged with bodily assault because I assaulted him. Because he went to the police and snitched. When he assaulted me, I didn't go to the police and snitch because I don't call the police. Maybe I should have, but I don't call the police. And I was young at the time, so it wasn't like it was a political thing that I was doing. Like, I don't call the police because I don't trust the police. It's it's just my life. It isn't no political shit. The first person who I know to have died in my life is my Uncle Mike, Michael Taylor, 1987, in Indianapolis, killed by the police. I was raised to not trust the police and raised to know that police will kill you. She she didn't unalive him. He died way later, like an accident. Yes. Yes. So this is the thing. It's like, I know niggas will, that if it's gonna be either you or them. Sometimes in situations it's gonna be you or them. And and circumstances will, if spun the right way by a transphobic media entity, they're gonna make you seem like you got a history of violence just because, honey, I'm a hood bitch and I live in the hood, and sometimes these niggas try me. And so there's many situations that I've been in that people will consider violent, but I consider justifiable because I'm in the situation. I'm in this situation because, honey. But they don't tell you, even when I got in a fight with a dude at Jackson State, they didn't tell you that they were trying to throw boiling hot water on me. They don't tell you, the story wouldn't be that, they wouldn't tell you that part. They would tell you about how I came up to the motherfucker and bashed him. I heard he also liked the trans girls while being homophobic. I didn't hear anything of that, but I don't put that past. I think I told this story on my channel too. When I went home to Jackson State homecoming and a nigga was trying to fight me because his homeboy told him that I was trans, and I didn't even try to talk to him. Niggas will be violent, and I had to put my hands on him. But if I would have stabbed his ass, it would have been, she has a history of violence. She tried to fight somebody at the school last year. They would say I would have a history of violence, even though I'm protecting myself. Facts. Yes, they are painting her as that person, but facts. And but it is this environment, this anti-trans environment, particularly now. And but I think I'm not bringing her name up to blame her. So don't think that I'm doing that. I'm bringing her name up as a distinct moment in a distinct time in culture that I think that it shifted. It was already shifting, but this really clicked it. Dylan Mulvaney, when she had that situation with Bud Light, and there was this backlash against them giving her a can with her picture on it, I think that publicly that happening shifted even people's on the left support of us. I think that stopped the performative nature of some people's support for us publicly. And it started to me, this is because I started to see a distinct shift in how people were showing up for trans people. Not every single person, of course not. But when that thing happened with Dylan publicly, we started seeing more divestment, a snowball effect in divestment in supporting trans people, supporting the trans issue. Um, and that snowballed into what we have right now. People literally, companies literally divesting from DEI programming, DEI programs. That affirmative action stuff, all of that stuff is snowballing into where they're not fucking with none of us. Definitely not no trans folks. I think that is, we are seeing a cultural divestment in Black people, women, women's issues, queer issues, slowly and subtly. My hands smell good. My hands smell like Windflower by Creed. I love this. I ain't going nowhere. Smell good for myself. Oh, this is one of my favorite scents. So, how, for y'all, if you're listening, thumbs up. For y'all, how do y'all justify violence? Like, when is it justifiable for y'all? Like, say you in a bottega and somebody is disrespecting you. Is it just when they put their hands on you? What if they in your face? What if they spit on you? What is it? What's crossing the line for you? There's no wrong answer. I want to know what crosses the line for people, because for me, you can't be all up in my face without me bashing you. I don't care if you hit me or not. You can't be in my personal space. You can't be, yeah. If you close enough talking crazy to me where I can reach you, you're too far. You too close, because I feel threatened. I feel like you too close and you could sneak hit me. It's just no. I don't like you talking crazy to me, period, in my vicinity. So I'm not just gonna wait for you. And I learned this lesson early on in my my school days, because when I was younger, my mom used to be like, you would get a whooping if you hit first. So if I got suspended for fighting at school, if I hit first, then I would get a whooping. But if somebody hit me first and I was defending myself, I wouldn't get a whooping. So it would be times where I'm fucking waiting for somebody to hit me. Like, they're talking crazy and da 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 da, and I can't bash you or I can't do nothing, and now I gotta wait for you to hit me. And when I was younger, it didn't really have too much effect, because these are weak. We're both weak little boys. You get what I'm saying? But when you start getting older and these testosterone driven football playing ass young boys want to hit you, that hit can really disorient you if it's hard enough. And so letting you hit me first start to not be an option. For one, it could be, honey, you could hit me and I'd be like, whoa, and you knock me down because you don't hit me. No. Or just because you hit me first, even if I tangle with your ass, it might look like you won. I don't like that either. So when I got in junior high, I stopped doing that hit first. But well, that's also when I wasn't in my mama's house no more. I wasn't in once I was in fucking the group home, I'm gonna get in trouble for getting suspended anyway. So I might as well bing you just because we about to fight. It is what it is. Go ahead, let me get my licks in, because I'm gonna get in trouble regardless. That's just what it is. And so I'm trying to think, as an adult, I just don't like people in my face. So definitely don't be in my face. Don't be up on me. You definitely don't spit on me. You spit on me, just count your days. My mom taught me to avoid fights, but she told me if they're close enough in your face, hit them because that means they must really want to fight. My father told me that too, CL. And if the guy was bigger than me, hit him with something. Yeah, I don't. My mama said, "Ain't no rules in love and war, honey." And so people talking about don't pick up no weapons, don't da 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 da. That only goes for your brothers. That's what my mama said. You don't pick up no weapons on your brothers, but anybody else, pop them with something. Yeah, no, So I'm just, it's just, I think this too. Now this may be going to, this might be my me putting on my full hat, my conspiracy. I don't know. It's just politically. I don't know. Y'all tell me if this is crazy. But I also feel like that's why Democrats or lefties or liberals, people on our side, we don't get shit done because we ain't willing to fight. We ain't willing to. We trying to follow the rules and be um diplomatic and fucking nice about gaining gains. Like when it's the Republicans' time to do something, like something that advances their shit, they don't care. We gonna give y'all Amy Coney Barrett. We gonna ain't no rules. We gonna give y'all Amy Coney Barrett. But we gonna block Obama's um um judge pick. We gonna they gonna do all the shady stuff that's in their power to do. Where Democrats is like, and I feel that about this election. We know this nigga is bad, and y'all letting this nigga be the president. He done started an insurrection, disrespecting the government, and y'all letting him be the president. He got convictions, and y'all letting him be on the ballot to even become the president because y'all want to be cordial. I think that it is insane. I think that it is insane, and that is like that's those rule things. Like, and then I know somebody would be like, but if everybody was breaking rules and it doesn't matter. But motherfuckers is dying. People are dying. We about to be on the brink of a Great Depression. These healthcare companies, like it's like ain't no they letting people just bash. That's what it feels like. The right is allowed to hit you first, and we do nothing. Like we punk out about it. It just that's what it feels like. I'm not when I was younger, I was learned that was the rules, but and the rules was to be nonviolent. The rules was to not be violent and to avoid the fighting and da da da. I understand it, but sometimes you gotta bash. Sometimes you gotta get them. You gotta get them to protect yourself. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta be offensive, not just defensive. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. I just feel like Republicans be more aggressive. I don't know. It feels weird to me. Super, super weird. He wants to make Canada a state, a whole country into a state. Girl. Okay. Me too, Diamond. I was bullied at school as they knew I was trans, so I was always fighting to defend myself. Yeah. Yeah, they never aggressive. They're always reaching across the aisle. We want to be bipartisan and da 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 da. Where is the Aggression. I never see the aggression on our side. I just don't. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. They're always, even we were talking about, somebody was bringing up Kamala and how they were saying, um not somebody, our Democratic chairman here in Texas was saying that, oh, we lost the election because they were supporting that trans stuff. Kamala didn't even say she was supporting us. She said we're going to follow the law. The language that they use was not even bold around supporting us. So half-ass supporting us. It wasn't even bold. It wasn't even bold. They not even standing toes down in supporting us. And you want to think that that is what affected the election? Get your ass out of here. They not even aggressively saying no. They ain't even saying that about none of y'all motherfuckers. They barely was aggressive when it came to reproductive rights. They didn't start doing that till after Roe v. Wade was changed. Till they overturned Roe. Then they started, oh my God, women's rights. They started to be aggressive then. But before, no, they was not. Crazy. I just didn't. I just want them to be more aggressive. And I think I'm saying that because I feel like people want you to be weak and play by the rules, but the rules will get you killed. And I feel like Gia was like, child, they've been trying to fight me this whole time. We know how they are. So this dude is getting it. That's just what it is. She didn't have no knife on her for no reason. Yeah. So that's my thoughts with Gia. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Shout out to whoever her lawyers are. The lawyers, I would share all of the shit that has happened to her. Yo, people have been, there's video of people attacking me. There's literally video of people attacking me. And I am in this store and he was threatening me, and this was self-defense. I know that there's no stand your ground law in New York. I don't think so, right? It's not a stand your ground law. But I feel like if she go with the defense of, listen, I'm a trans woman, and in this environment, I felt threatened. I just literally on video was getting beat up by two dudes in this incident, and nobody was helping me. And then here I go again. This dude is threatening me, and I took it. I wore you out. I wore him out. So it is what it is. I don't know if she got bail. I'm not for sure. I don't really know the current status of her situation. I know the family has spoke out, his family, but I don't want to hear from them. I want to hear from her. I don't care about him. I really don't. Sorry. Good luck. Good luck with your GoFundMe's. Good luck with your services. I hope that y'all have therapy to be able to work through your grief. Yeah. That's all I got for you. That is all I got for you, baby. Because I have been there. Alrighty. So I want to talk about my next subject. We're gonna talk about um let me see if I can send y'all the All right, here is, I'm going to give y'all this link. This is a tuck joke. Now, I love a good joke. I was on this Instagram, and if y'all look in the comments, I have a comment on there. And this is a joke about the caption, it is trans women walking through different stores, and any trans woman that has a pre-op trans woman, when you tuck in, sometimes your tuck belt or your tuck panties, sometimes they will be digging into your scrotum, they will be digging into your balls, they will be digging into your dick, they will be digging into your private parts, and you're in public, so you can't really adjust them, and you got to move your leg a little bit. And so this video is video of trans women walking through public places trying to adjust their tuck without actually doing it with their hands. And so the caption is, when the tuck is biting and you can't do nothing about it. And so it is a jovial conversation. It is on the Mulan Garcon and another girl, Mermaid Mogul. And so the conversation was, I just want to release the beast. Use the link in the bio to for Tuck It Up. Get a discount if you use this. So it's talking about, this was earlier. Earlier it didn't have this little promotion for Tuck It Up. But so you see the joke of the situation. The joke is that the tuck is uncomfortable and da 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 da. So the statement that I made, I thought that it was funny. I thought that it was funny, but so I laughed. I thought that was funny. So I say, and I know this is old school of me, but I say, see, there used to be a mystique to the girls. Y'all giving too much details of the life, child. We used to have a mystique. We had a mystique. You don't talk. This is a joke you and your trans girlfriends kiki about. You don't put this out for the people. This is when we sitting at the restaurant with your girls, your trans girlfriends, and we kikiing about that. This is a internal community conversation that everybody don't need to know. I think we should gatekeep some stuff. And so I said there used to be a mystique to us where we wasn't putting this type of stuff out. And so Milan says, and she was real respectful. She says, I get that, but it literally assists women in the comments saying, oh my God, I do the same thing with my lips when they get caught in my panties. I think being able to relate to the outside world is much, much more important than the mystery. So I say, and this is how the conversation goes, I say back to her, I said, I don't feel that way about just trans stuff. As a Black woman too, everything ain't for everybody else's business. We should gatekeep some stuff. I feel this way of when, let me finish my statement. We should gatekeep some stuff. We can relate in other ways, but I think this is stuff that's just for us to kiki about. I'm old school. I accept that. I'm still glad that y'all are happy doing whatever y'all feel y'all need to be doing. I'm happy that y'all doing it. Now, the reason why I say that is because there are certain things like that I feel uncomfortable about. And I'm not saying that I shouldn't or that you should agree. I'm just saying there's certain things that I feel uncomfortable about. I hate when I see Black women take off their wig for the gaze, or to not the gaze as in gay people, but the gaze of other people. When Black women say, is that a wig? When they say to a Black woman, is that a wig? And Black women lift their wig up to prove that it's a wig. Or show them that it's a wig, or show them where their hair, any kind of explanation about our hair, I don't like for us to do that. I don't like it. Can you do it? It's your hair. It's your head. Cool. I'm somebody that don't like it. They don't need to know how our hair is fixed. The secrets of our hair. They don't need to know it. Why? Oh my God, it looks so real. Can I touch it? Can I do this? I don't want you to take off your wig in public to prove to this white woman that that's not your hair. Or to prove to her that it's a wig. That's not their business. Or you proving to her how what happened recently. I don't know what happened recently. There was a celebrity girl who did something to her wig, like twisted or something to prove that it was a wig. I don't like when black women do that. I don't think they deserve it. Do y'all think that? Like and this is a situation like that, where there are certain things that's just for us. And I think we should gatekeep it. How we do our hair, how we, I don't know, anything that's specific to our culture, how we do certain things. There's a part of me that shit should be gatekept. It should be gatekept. There should be, I'm not saying that we just need to be closed off, but there's just certain things that I think that ain't their fucking business. And that's just me. And so in this moment where I'm talking to her, I'm just saying that I don't think this is about trans shit. Yo, I think it's some stuff as black woman that da. And she says content like this. And also when she said there's cis women in the comments saying, oh my God, I do the same thing with my lips. If you think that a cis woman's coochie lip being caught in panties is equivalent to a trans woman dick getting caught in panties in public, you think that those are two of the same things? I have questions. I don't think that those are the same thing for many reasons. For the reasons that we're talking about with Jaia. If you find out that we're trans, it can start a whole big ass problem in public with us. That if a cis woman is digging in her coochie, it ain't gonna cause no problems. To fix her panties. Those are two. I'm not saying that there's no similarity there, but you making it seem like that there's this kumbaya moment in the comments between where cis women is comparing what's happening between their legs and us. That's strange to me. The consequences between those two things can be very different. Balloons, yay. So I just think that's weird. But no, in that video, she was saying that, because there's tons of people on there, she was saying that it was like a kumbaya moment. I'm like, it's not a kumbaya moment, baby. It's really early on in the video's exploration. I'm pretty sure. Let me finish the conversation so you can understand what I'm saying. So she says, the content like this is with such a positive response from people of all genders and walks of life, humanizes trans people in a way, in a deep conversation that a deep conversation just don't. This is one of those live, laugh, love moments. You get people to actually see you as a person and not whatever idea or stereotype they have at you. And so I say, oh, I definitely don't think this makes people see us outside of stereotypes. The root of this joke is still focused on our tuck and our genitalia. That actually goes right along with cisgender people's obsession with our body parts, because every trans woman does not have a dick to tuck. Some of us have gotten our bottom surgery. So everybody don't have this. And so for you to be putting this joke out here now, while I'm having this conversation, I'm feeling like, oh, they're just having fun. So I'm not trying to make this a serious conversation, but because of how she's responding to me, I'm like, oh, this ain't what you think is giving. Now I understand you can make the joke. And like I said, I was laughing at first, but you making it seem like this is humanizing trans women. I think that this is doing the opposite because the root of the joke is still focused on our genitalia. And actually, cisgender people are obsessed with our body parts. And there's many people who can see this as othering. Now, I don't think that this is horrible or like super negative. I just don't think that it's doing the humanizing, making fun of a trans woman's tuck or situation with her tuck. I don't think that that's necessarily humanizing us. That feels like it's othering. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. It doesn't, just because it's done in a humorous way doesn't mean that it's doing some kind of profound humanizing of trans people. I don't agree with that. And if that's the case, then why not some of the jokes that Dave Chappelle does? Now, of course, I know Dave Chappelle is not trans, and this is a trans person making the joke. But in that same way, I don't think that these type of jokes humanize people. I said sometimes it can just be simple. It can just be simply being humorous. And that's okay to be that. I didn't, in this moment, why I said that is because I didn't want to seem like I'm this old, antiquated auntie, just like, oh, no, don't, no, 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 because it's just meant to be funny. So I didn't want to take it as seriously as it's making it. But she just kept going. So she says, but you're missing the part where we all are in the comments with cisgender women and cisgender men, including saying we all have done the same move for different reasons. But the reason is the difference is the important part. Have everybody experienced panty discomfort? Absolutely. But there's a difference between a trans woman doing this. The consequences can be very different. And we don't have the same public obsession about our genitalia. That's just different. I think it's different. Cis women are saying they do the same thing when their past shifts or when their undies get caught in the lips. Cis men are saying they do this when it moves or when it's hot and they gotta unstick their balls. It's literally funny conversation that's inclusive of all genders. I just think that that is like delusional. If I might be tripping, I just think that when you're talking about a tuck, you're not talking about what the cisgender people are talking about, and it's not just as simple. A dude fixing his balls is not going to be something that can get him attacked or wore out, or seen as a girl, or seen or a cisgender woman fixing her pad ain't gonna be something that's gonna get her seen as a man. And then she said, I tell home and I have 2 degrees and study sociology. I know people and that makes us come together and what keeps us apart. I don't know why she brought up degrees, but that felt like weird. So I stopped wanting to argue about it. But because I started to feel like it's becoming more than what it should be. Once you get to start popping off degrees, I was like, what? What does got to do with degrees? But then, as I suspected, because I follow her, I'm gonna be the one of the first people to comment. So yes, the positive stuff is gonna be funny at first, but guess what started to happen? Everybody in the comment, that kumbaya moment was over, and then people started to come and be disrespectful. People started to come and say, this is why y'all shouldn't be in the bathroom because y'all have a penis. Y'all are mentally ill. And there's no such thing as a cis woman. Y'all are mentally ill. Rest in peace. And they just go into this. You didn't give it enough time for it to be late. Why you trying to make it seem like, you know, why you making it seem like there's this kumbaya all gender moments? This is why it's not an all gender moment. This is why this ain't they fucking business. It is still making us a spectacle. It should be gatekeep because more than they know, more than they hold on. It should be gate kept because the more they know, the more they'll use against us. Facts. I think Milan's video exists on the internet, similar to your. It still makes us a spectacle. Yeah, this isn't a come together thing. But the cis women trying to connect to a bite and tuck is like when a certain someone comes in here with the mother's diamonds. What do you mean? I must not be clocking. Who you talking about? Um, I have Milan blocked. She just annoys me. Trans woman tuck is the one thing that is not heteronormous though, so that's the difference. Facts. Yeah, her youth and naivete shines through. I know what Gia means. Who? I must be clocking. Oh, I know who y'all talking about. I'm clocking what y'all talking about. Michelle, don't do that to Michelle. I know what y'all talking about. Y'all funny. I thought I was the only one that clocked that. But that's my girl. um, y'all are funny. So I thought that this was a moment where I'm like, maybe I'm just tripping. I just don't, and I just think that it's kind of weird. I don't know. I just think that it's kind of weird to make jokes about Tuck. I don't know. Maybe that's just where we are. I've never had to adjust my lips, but my Tuck years ago, yes, it was not the same. It is funny. But I didn't want to be on there seeming like the old curmudgeon. The curmudgeon in her comments being negative. And like I said, in my first comment, I was using the laughing emojis, and I was like, oh, the girls. I even have a video where where I literally make a joke on my TikTok about the girls used to have a mystique. The girls used to have a mystique. That was a thing. We wasn't fucking we wasn't doing all of that. And I guess that's what comes with being free and whatever. I don't know. It might be me being antiquated. And that's okay. I don't feel like they need to be in our business like that. So yeah, that just was my take on it. So I wanted to see y'all opinions about gatekeeping. Do y'all think that is it not a big deal to y'all? And it's not a big deal to me. It's just that because there was some tension in the conversation. I was like, oh, this might be a good subject for us to talk about, because I am wondering, what do y'all feel about the hair thing? Do y'all feel like Black women should be taking off their wigs for people? There was one of them y'all remember one of them balloon popping videos where the girl had on the wig and the dude was like, oh, I don't like women who wear wigs. And she took her wig off to reveal this blonde ball cut, and she looked it just as good. And they were like, I feel like that kind of spectacle, they don't deserve that. If they don't respect you with your wig on, why you give them the wig off? Who cares? I don't know. I just feel like it's weird. Like, they don't deserve it. This is how we groom ourselves. This is how we take care of ourselves. It's none of your business. Our struggles with our tucks is none of your business. And yeah, it feels like a joke. It feels like a joke that should be an inside joke. That's what I'm saying. It's not that I don't think that we shouldn't joke. I'm not saying that, but that's a particular one that I feel like it should be an inside joke for us to kiki about when we with each other. And I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. It's okay. Yes. So I wanted to talk about that. Make sure you thumbs up if you are listening and watching. Let me see what other things I want to talk about. So we talked about Beyonce. We talked about Gia. We talked about Tug. All right. So y'all, let me give y'all the scenario, and y'all tell me how y'all would have responded in the scenario. So was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Day before yesterday. So Sunday. So Sunday I go to the mall, and I go there. Sometimes I go to the mall just to walk around and see, and just to get fly and walk around and see what's up. So Galleria Mall here in Houston is big. It is actually the 6th largest mall in North America, actually. It's big. It has tons of the high fashion stores, and it has some of the low end stores too. So like Forever 21. But yeah, it's something that I just love to do. I like go see what's on sale. Even if I'm not trying to buy nothing, I'll just go. So when you go to the Galleria, you are going to see a wide array of people from so many races, so many classes. You can walk because of the high end nature of the mall, how it has literally every high end store that you could think of, from Saks to Neiman Marcus to Bottega to Fendi, like all the high end stores, like really sickening stores. To, like I said, low end. You gonna see every array of people. You gonna see the white lady with too much sirs that's coined out with a Birkin bag. You gonna see and you gonna see the Banji girl with the wigs and the baby hair and the booty shorts and lashes this long, and you know what I'm saying? You're gonna see every type of girl, ranging from whatever. You're gonna see everything, literally everything. So I'm coming from, where was I going? I'm coming from Nordstrom's. I had bought I didn't buy, but I wanted to buy this dress from Nordstrom because they got a after holiday sale going on, and it's this dress that I wanted. I haven't pulled the trigger, but I'm thinking about it. So I'm coming down the hall, down the corridor, down the little hallway, walking down the mall, and I see a mother and her 2 daughters. Now, the mother has on some khaki pants, a black shirt, the wig with the baby hair bangs, the lashes, the nails. Banji girl. I love Banji. That's my tea. I live for it. Her daughters have their hair like classic black girls. Pretty bubbles on they you know how you do it, the more up-to-date version of the barrettes and bobos on your hair. You can see them and tell that they're little girls. It's 2 of them, little girls. One is probably like 4. One is like 4, and one is like, if I was to guess, 6 or 7. If I was to guess, I would say 6 because her face looked like everybody. The 2 little girls look like little girls, like they look like little girls. And so mama, I don't know how old mama is. You know, you can't tell with black women, but young mama. And so when I'm 5'11", and mama is look like she probably like 5'4", 5'3", little. And the little girls are no taller, no, of course not taller than her. And so when I see them walking, the little girls have tennis skirts on, like grown women tennis skirts on, but they have them together. So it's like a white shirt, like a tank, like a white, it's the shape like a wife beater on the little girls, and a tennis skirt, like a it looks like a tennis skirt. That's what it looks like to me. And from where I was standing, I didn't notice it. They're walking in front of me, but I'm just noticing. I'm just noticing a cute. She got her daughters like twins, like they're dressed alike. It's just a cute little outfit, and yeah, it's cute. And so I don't really notice it, and it throws my attention off. And somebody, you know how them like kiosks be in the middle and they're trying to get you to try stuff. Come try our fragrance, and you know how they be in the middle. And so she did this and threw my mind off. But now we're walking up to an escalator to go up the escalators. So remember, I'm 5'11". So when they're in front of me, so when they're going up the escalators, it is mama in front of me and the two little girls, the youngest little girl in front of her, and then next to the mama in the step above her is the youngest little girl, the oldest little girl. So she like 6 or 7. And so I'm telling the dude I don't want none, no thank you. And so once I get up the elevator, I have no choice but to look in the direction that I'm up in the direction of the escalator is going up. And all I see is this little 6-year-old girl's ass. Like her whole ass is out. She has on a thong. And it wasn't like I am like this. When I look at the skirt is too short, period. Because I'm tall, when I first see them, I can't see how short it is. But being that I'm not taller than them because the escalator is going up, I'm like, yo, like, and I scream out my mouth. I was like, yo, your daughter's ass is out. And it just comes out because it felt like it felt very inappropriate. Like it felt like, yo, like, whoa, you know your daughter's ass is out. Like, and it wasn't like, oh, the dress is long and only because I was in the escalator in that angle I could see it. No, the dress is short. It is a tennis skirt, too short for this little girl. And I say, yo, your daughter's ass is out. And she turns around and she was like, why are you looking at my daughter's ass? Because I'm on the escalator behind y'all and I have no choice but to look up and I see your daughter's ass. Like, ma'am. Her literal, and it's not like why, and my thing is, I'm not tripping about it's a tennis skirt. I'm not somebody who's like, oh, I'm also a person be like, why a little girl should be able to wear what she want to wear. Why are you sexualizing this little girl in the clothes? I'm not looking at her sexually at all. But the angle that I was in, and she got a fucking thong on, it is just a little girl's ass in front of me. And I say it, that's her ass is out. Like, you need to pull her skirt down. And in my brain, if I had a daughter and she was gonna wear that, she would have some shorts on under it. I would have think that would have been normal because tennis skirts, you wear shorts on under it. But this little girl has a thong on. They make thongs for little girls? I never had saw that. Why do little girls got thongs? Like, am I tripping? Like, did something change in the little girl section of the store? Because this little girl had a thong on. And I never saw that before. Like, usually little girls' panties cover their butt, but this was literally a thong made for a little girl. Who is manufacturing these things? I can't be the only one that think this is weird. I can't be the only one. There is something very weird about certain things that I see that over the years, and because I don't have any children, and because of how cisgender people weaponize motherhood against my womanhood, I try to stay out of conversations when it comes to talking about people's kids and talking about kids in general. But I find it weird that Victoria's Secret has baby outfits with pink on the butt part. Why are you putting words on the butt part of a kid? Why are you making clothes that are like sexy clothes for kids? That is weird to me. I don't have children, so I'm not buying clothes for people. But why are they even being made? Is that not weird? Am I tripping? I don't think thongs for little girls should be weird. Why is a little girl when I thought thongs was made so you can have some panties on, but it not show. That's what I thought, and it not show a panty line. Why are we worried about a little girl not showing a panty line? Like, why are they even being made for little girls? I just don't. And who is buying them for their kids and putting them on with? It was the strangest thing. It was the strangest thing to me. I don't understand it. Didn't understand it. And she was playing it. She at first she was talking about it like I was sexualizing her. I'm like, I'm not sexualizing her. Her ass is out. You need to pull her skirt down. Oh, but it wasn't enough skirt. It wasn't like her skirt was up and it was actually a short skirt. It was actually a long skirt that I just could, because of the angle I could see. No, this was a too short skirt for a 6-year-old. Especially of her not having panties on. Or her, especially since you put a thong on this little girl. I just didn't understand it. I have to play the 5-second rule with stuff like that. It can't be fixed in 5 seconds or less. I kept my mouth shut. It I just said it because I thought maybe she didn't know or something. I don't know. I just was like, yo, your ass is out. Like, your daughter's ass is out. Like, her whole ass is out. And she has on a thong. Like, I don't think I would have tripped if it was normal panties, because I'm like, oh, that's because of the angle that I'm in. But what made it so like, what the fuck is happening is that she had on a thong for a 6-year-old. Who made these? Who put this on this little girl? Of course, her mama, because she's matching with her sister. I'm like, I felt like, so like, what the fuck is happening? It felt like it was a moment that I had never experienced before. I've seen little girls in clothes. I'm like, oh, that's a little too grown for you. But this moment just felt like, what the hell is going on? Oh my Lord, this must be a new phenomenon. I'm 23. I never have seen any type of thong at Target when I was a little kid. I'm 100% agree with you that is strange. Yeah, she literally had on a thong. Like, you know how thongs have that little strip, it's just like a string, and then it comes it's the thick part around your waist, but the back comes up between your ass. I was like, who makes thongs for 6-year-olds? It was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, yo, and then I told, and I said, yo, your baby's ass is out. And she says, but I think I said it too harshly. Like, I didn't say it like, I'm informing you that your baby ass is out. I didn't say it like I should have said it like that. By the time I looked up, by the time I said it and we looked up, because I remember we're going up one flight of escalator stairs going up. And so the dude was distracting me and I was trying to tell him, no, I'm not interested in what you're doing. But I'm trying to not be rude and be like, no, thank you. So I'm looking back. I look back down at my phone. I look up child's ass. By the time I say what I say and she responds to me, they're already getting off the escalator and I'm coming up. So by the time she responds to me, we're getting off the escalator. Yeah, I was so shocked that I didn't give a sweet auntie approach. I said, oh my God, your baby's ass is out. That's what I said. I said, oh my God, your baby's ass is out. No, I didn't even say your babies. I said, oh my God, her ass is out. Because it was so crazy to me. It was so crazy. It just felt crazy. It felt so crazy. And she was like, that's because you're under. Why are you looking at my baby's ass? I have no other choice, ma'am. No other choice. She has on a thong. And she's on an escalator. That skirt is not for children. It was crazy. And it walked off. We walked off, but because she went around this corner and I went straight. But it was so strange to me. I didn't know they make thongs for babies, for kids like that. And it just was surprised that because she was below her. So she had to, I don't know. It just was such a strange. I don't know if she saw it or not, but it was strange. And so I wanted to talk about that because I never had her have seen that. Usually if young girls have on tennis skirts, I've seen that before, but they usually have shorts on under it, not thongs. All right. So I am going to post this because I want to discuss some of these things. All right. So there is a fire in the city of Los Angeles. Fire in the city of Los Angeles. So I want to talk about some of these things that are happening. Tons of thousands have been forced to evacuate from LA as a devastating wildfire spreads by 65 miles per hour winds. And to add insult to injury, rather than regulating corporations like Nestle, who steal groundwater and worsen the situation, LA City Council has defunded emergency management services and redistributed those funds to the LAPD, even though LAPD has been cut. $23 million was cut from the LA's fire department to help increase the LAPD budget to $138 million. So with an underfunded and wait, I'll bring that up later. So with the underfunded fire department made up in a large part of slave labor, this is what I was about to say, from California prison systems, thanks to the loophole in the 13th Amendment, because you know the loophole says that you can be a slave if you are a criminal. Clock that T. You can be a slave if you are a criminal. And they were voting in this past election to ban slavery altogether. And they voted, they didn't vote in favor to ban it. And this is in a blue state in California. Clock that T. So, large part made up of 30% of them are prisoners. They are struggling to fight the flames due to dwindling water supply, leaving many of LA wealthiest residents seeking private protection, while the poor and unhoused are left to fend for themselves because America. KKK, with a KKK. Climate denying dude bros like Keith Westerman think their money is going to save them. I hope they all wake up and gain some class consciousness before realizing that it won't save them. So the reason why she said Keith is because Keith said, now remember what I just told y'all about the money happening. He's tweeting about the money that's been cut. He's tweeting, does anyone have access to private firefighters to protect our home in Pacific Palisades? Needs to act fast here. All neighbors' housing are burning. Will pay any amount. Thank you. So this is somebody who is rich asking for private firefighters to come help them save their house. Clock that fucking T. And then somebody retweeted it and said, correction, to correct what he's saying. I'll pay any amount except pay local and state taxes to fund a broader, more prepared firefighting service that could protect all people, because these are the same people who gets tax cuts that benefit them. And so now they want to use the money that they earn from tax cuts to have private firefighters to protect their home. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. So let's keep going. We're going down the slide. Pictures. And so somebody else retweeted it and said, do y'all remember that with the moment in in the Titanic, when the Titanic was sinking and Rose's mother said, will the lifeboats be seated according to class? in the midst of this fucking boat collapsing, you worried about class. But that's how they think. Insurance companies are canceling fire insurance to LA residents. After paying them for years, this is what pisses me off. You will be paying into an insurance for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, and they can cancel on you. I need all of my money back, bro. I need all of my money back. Somebody said, now is a good time to remind people that a significant portion of the firefighters working the Palisades fire are incarcerated. 30% of California forest fires are prisoners. About 40,000 inmates battling blazes in the Golden State's woodlands. So imagine these people forcing you to fight, you risking your life to fight fires. That's crazy. To me, this is blue state incompetence. We love to talk about the red states, but to me, this is the blue state incompetence. It's the same thing that's happened in New York when they're trying to charge people. They're using the cameras to charge people $9 to go through those to go through certain neighborhoods at certain times. To me, that is blue state robbery. And this is blue state incompetence. We love to talk about red states, not saying that they're great at all, but blue states, they're different than red states, but they do some shady criminal ass shit. Clock that T. Reading about how indigenous people of California would do controlled burns during the cold season to stave off the intensity of seasonal fires and allow fire-resistant species to grow. Forest was less dense, making the fire season less severe. This practice was outlawed in 1850. Fun facts on how these people who lived and stewarded these lands, knew how to prevent these things. And because y'all had disenfranchised them, y'all have lost the education or not invested in the education. Clock that T. And then she said the same thing, bring back indigenous stewardship. But then they were, and pay them, if you're going to bring it back, pay them well. Give them their fucking land back. If you're not going to give them the land back, pay them well at least. Has anyone mentioned that the worst case scenario fire is happening in the winter? Fortunately, our elected officials have prepared for the moment by defunding the fire department and climate emergency mobilization department in order to give more money to LAPD. They're being sarcastic, of course. Because what is LAPD doing? In response to the massive fire raging all over Los Angeles and record high winds, the county has let us know there are only 100 shelter beds. 100. 60,000 people live outside of LA County. The same day, the LA City Council voted to move $200K in homelessness funds to the LAPD over time. Just wanted to reach out to advise you that there are no Care Plus operations conducted tomorrow in our district. Unfortunately, a total of 100 city council vouchers will be made available to individuals experiencing unsheltered homelessness to come indoors and shelter, including windstorms in LA County. To seek access to the vouchers, call 211. These motherfuckers are crazy. Crazy. These people are crazy. Let me see what y'all saying before I go to the next ones. I think not shocked. It's not like they would have gotten anything. Natural disasters tend to not be on the list of insurance too. Amen. No words to explain seeing chapters of life gone just like that. Hillside split open, trees lit like matches, animals left to panic, firefighters trying to know that people who makes this real will vote and drink and drill and eat and lobby tomorrow and again and again and again. Today is a good day to remember that last year, LA City Council approved the mayor's budget to cut $23 million from the LA Fire Department, as well as cuts from other departments. So they could give the LAPD a $138 million increase, even though crime has decreased and there are fewer cops. So even though crime has decreased and there are fewer cops, they still gave them that millions. Crazy. And then they have this picture of this lady while the wildfires is going on, walking the beach like nothing is going on. And so this is in response to the 30% of the on-the-ground wildfire crew being incarcerated people. And not only are they forced out there, they can't become firefighters after prison as legitimate work and turning their lives around. They are not allowed to get jobs in the fire department. So forced to work, pennies for pay, and barred from working after prison. This is slave labor. So imagine you are good enough to fight the biggest forest fires while you're in prison, and then and this inspires you to be like, yo, I'm gonna get out of prison and change my life around and go be a firefighter. And because you were incarcerated fighting fires, you cannot be a firefighter. Isn't that insane? Freaking sane. Thumbs up if you're listening and think that that is insane. Because I do. I think that that is crazy and ironic. So this country is going, it's been shitty, but it's going down the shitter. Even more down the shitter. Where is my candies? Did I eat my candies? I guess I did. But I remember how scared I was about just Harvey and flooding. I feel like where I live now, recently I've been there's something going on with my drainage in my apartment complex, and I think my neighbors, they used to grill all the time and dump their grill ashes in the drain. I feel like it's making our drain flood in a way that it never did. And I feel like if it's a rain, like a real bad rain, I think my apartment is gonna flood. Because it's doing something that it never did before. And I'm annoyed by it. It's wild to me that people are freezing to death on one side of the country and burning to death on the other side. And this nigga is trying to buy Greenland with grocery money. It feels like does it feel like something is coming? Like it feels like some kind of revolution is coming. I don't know. It feels I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but it feels like it's gonna get worse before it get better. It feels like I don't know. Like, are we gonna have to do like a French Revolution? Put a guillotine. Guillotine. We gotta guillotine the rich, honey. It feels strange. It feels like something is coming. Like a Great Depression. me look at my list. Well, that's all I had to talk about. What do y'all want to talk about? Do y'all have something else? We talked about Beyonce. We talked about Jaia Cruz. We talked about the tuck jokes, the bare ass little girl, and fires. That's all I wanted to talk about this week. We're about to have a new president in a couple of days. Well, a repeat of the old president. Are y'all worried? What are y'all concerns? What are y'all not even thinking about it? Why I did not get a notification that you were live? I don't know. Do you have the notification bell on? Sometimes YouTube be tripping. Everybody was talking about Skip Bay. Who is Skip Bay? Please don't remind us about the president. You know that's all they're going to be talking about. Sometimes you have to turn the notifications off, then back on. Have y'all been watching any good movies lately? I haven't started it, Shonette. Is it good? What is Nosferatu about? I've heard about it. I started watching Pose, rewatching Pose, and I can't stop watching Wicked. Mm-hmm. Do y'all watch Tubi? No. I can't. I recently rewatched Good Fences with Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover. Too good. Vampire Nosferatu. Is that anime? Not as good as the first season. I mean, it's hard to top that. First season was so good. I want to watch Madam in the Mirror on Tubi. Did you hear about the church in Oregon? No, tell me about the church in Oregon. I want to see the new Luker doc too. I do too. I hate that they played it on January 1st. Why the fuck would you play it on January 1st? On CNN. Put that shit out on a fucking streaming service. Put it you show it on CNN on January 1st. When people was fucking partying or recovering from partying. That is so fucking stupid. That pissed me the fuck off. Who the fuck? Who? I thought that was so dumb. I sure wanted to watch it, but it was fucking January 1st. And now I can't find it nowhere. Even on my little let me see if it's on there yet. Even on my little site that I used to pirate. Oh, it's on there. Oh, let me send y'all the link. Yesterday it wasn't on there. Oh, it's on Hulu now? Oh, it wasn't on Hulu the other day. When I looked on Hulu, it wasn't on Hulu, but it's on my piracy site. So here you go, y'all. Y'all want me to do a review? Watch it and do a review? Because I love Luther's book by Craig Seymour. I spoke too soon. It's not on Hulu. Yeah, it's not on there. I looked. But it's okay. Yep, it's on there. Well, all right. As a matter of fact, I'm about to watch this now. We've been on here for 3 hours. I'm so happy with Look Movie. Yes, honey. They give me all the teas. Anytime I can't find something, or it's on a streaming service that I don't want to pay for, it's on there. I love them. And they don't be getting shut down. So you know how this website used to get shut down and shit. They don't do that no more. Well, all right, y'all. Let me get out of here. Thumbs up and tell me what y'all think, and we will talk. Marsha's Play episode is coming out. I'll probably edit it while I watch Luther. Never too much. And then, how about Friday? How we talk? Watch it, y'all, and we'll dissect Luther on Friday at 7 when I go live on Friday. All right, so that's gonna be the next topic, Luther. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.